Today, we're going back to Amazon to redesign their credit card manager. I was recently on there to add a new credit card and realized that I have about 12 expired cards, and it's really difficult to actually make changes to the credit cards you have on file using their existing interface. It's 2023, Amazon, we can do better here. We've got our style guide here as always with some blacks, dark blues, and then the nice Amazon Prime blue and gold hues. And then we're using the Amazon Ember font just to maintain a consistent brand aesthetic throughout. Here are the user stories that we want to be able to complete with this interface. I just want to view all the cards, edit them, add new cards, manage everything, manage my existing Amazon Pay balance. Let's dive right in and see what we come up with. Veterans on the channel will know that we have redesigned the Amazon site-wide navigation before, but honestly I just looked back at it and I didn't really like it. So we're taking another stab here, keeping it much simpler this time and moving the primary navigation controls to the header, and then a simple little secondary navigation will be placed just below this here. It seemed a little unnecessary to have an entire horizontal row dedicated to going back to your account, so I figured if we were going to use this space, we might as well have some breadcrumbs here to give the user a greater sense of where they are in the navigation hierarchy. Looking at the existing UI, for some reason you have to scroll through all of your cards and accounts before you can see your current Amazon Pay balance, which doesn't make a lot of sense because if you have quite a lot of cards like I do, you're scrolling quite a ways just to see a simple little number. So we're swapping the order here, just placing the balance at the top, that way users can quickly see it without having to exhaust their thumb with all that scrolling. I quite liked how in the existing UI, they only showed the card number and the expiration date so as to not fill up all the vertical space with lots and lots of cards. But I felt like we were missing something here, so I went ahead and recreated kind of a fake credit card here with all of the information placed in the appropriate space so that users can get all of the detail that they could possibly need about their card. But they were also going to change things such that we don't show every single card that each user has on file. That way we get the best of both worlds. We can show lots of detail without overwhelming the user with a huge list of cards. I initially wanted to reduce the number of steps a user would have to take to either edit or delete their card by placing the buttons directly on these mockups, but I later changed this because we also want the user to be able to swap the default card that they're using on their account. So we end up changing this into a context menu, and I think that was a much more appropriate solution. All right, there we go. Now we have a credit card manager in Amazon that is much easier to use. First of all, we know exactly what we're looking at, and there's the option to go back to the previous screen. Settings are in an appropriate place, as opposed to in the secondary navigation where they don't really make sense. I can see my current balance immediately, and given that it doesn't take up very much vertical real estate, it makes sense to put it there. And then I've got all my cards here, and I can make changes to them whenever I want to, or just show all of them if I have a huge list of cards that I just haven't deleted in a while. But I hope this made sense, and I hope that there was at least a little bit of design insight in there for you. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.